let's go through some news on what has happened lately. One of the biggest things, the Forest Service has opened up California after being closed for the better part of a month. So it's scheduled to lift on Friday, this Friday the 17th, but they've opened all but 5 national forests as of now. If you're seeing this, it's open. So the 5 that are going to remain in closure until midnight the 22nd, which I believe is going to be next Wednesday, are Los Padres, Angeles, San Bernardino, and Cleveland National Forest. Those are all in Southern California, and it's because of fire and weather factors, as was for the reason for the original closure. And I think what this will really tell us, and what we should really be doing, is if we're west of the Mississippi, I think fires are over. Unless maybe it's winter or something, I think we just can't have campfires anymore. It used to be a thing growing up. We had campfires, and backpacking, we would cook crawdads over the fire from catching them, or fish or something like that, and eat them. But lately, with how climate change and all the factors are going, and things like gender reveal parties and things like that, I think now's the time we take our stand and say, we cannot have fires in the backcountry anymore. If we want to be able to use our forests, I think fires are a thing of the past. So that's great news for the opening of California, but that still means we have to safely use it without ruining it or further starting fires. I mean, with the air quality in Tahoe being some of the worst in the country this last month, and shutting down basically every hiking trail, ruining the possibility for many Pacific Crest Trail hikers to complete their southbound hikes, among many other things out there. That's really just one of the things that doesn't really matter. It really shows that the impact that we're having on the environment is going to carry over into most uses of our public lands. And as the saying goes, that's why we can't have nice things. All right, let's move on to something a little more, I guess we'd say upbeat, but also equally painful. If we dive into the world of FKTs, fastest known times, if you're wondering, we can take a look at one of the major FKTs that was just finished, and Nick Pedatella, I believe I'm saying that right, and if I'm not, then I'm not, almost on the exact same time frame that I did the Colorado Trail last year, he completed the supported Colorado Trail. So we did it in different styles, but we started within about a day of each other, and he was obviously about a full day faster, just in style, but in an amazing accomplishment. He broke the latest FKT. So he did Collegiate West, which is a different variation than most of the people who are going for the true fastest speed. Nick Pedatella went west to east, breaking Brian Williams' supported record. The Collegiate West goes through a higher variation and is at Alpine much more than the Collegiate East, which I took. It saves some elevation, and I believe is a couple miles shorter. So he took the hardest route possible, and by going from west to east, he started in Durango and finished in Denver, which I've always thought is the easiest and best way logistically to do the Colorado Trail if you're looking to do a through hike, because you just get to Durango and you start hiking, then you arrive in Denver at the end of your hike. A lot easier to fly out, a lot easier to travel. So that's kind of what I would say. And so congrats to Nick on that big FKT. Right now, we also have further progress with Michael Versteeg, which you can see a little flash of him in the Dylan Harris interview that I did recently, link below. And Michael Versteeg is going for the Colorado Trail record as well. So he is a few days in, still pushing, and he's going in the opposite direction that Nick did. So that's really our major FKT news. Colorado Trail is very hot right now. We've had a number of big names on the board, between like Carl Sabe this year and other big routes, like even the Pacific Northwest Trail one, where the record can be lowered substantially. But beyond that, it's been a weird year for FKTs, and a weird 2 years, because it's hard to get to the different locations where people and trails are at. So if you're in Europe, it's really limiting the ability to come over to the US to attempt an FKT. So I actually spent the last few days in Denver looking into some big opportunities, and I think within the next day or two we're going to be announcing a big giveaway. We have a lot of big things coming on the channel, and we are just getting started. So this is the first push into this realm of news, what's relevant, what's happening, but biggest thing, and we led with it, is California is opening up. And unless you're in those Southern California National Forest, pretty much everything is opened as of now, and let's use our resources responsibly and really not take those public lands for granted. So that is basically the news today in news. I would say today in nature, outdoor, free outside news. And I'm Jeff Garmeyer. I'm wearing a suit because I flew in from Denver in this suit. You better believe it. All right, I think we're gonna call that a wrap. Thanks for joining me. That's the news.